Hey people, welcome to a new video. So, at school I have something called a personal project, which has a very long backstory, as in a completely different school system, which has this own system where to get out of that system you have to finish a project, blah 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 blah. You've got to make something, literally anything. But the only thing with that is, words are difficult. The only thing with that is that I have to make a process of it. I can't just like make something, bring it in and say, here's my thing, let me graduate 10th grade please. And then they say yes or no. No, this is a project where I've got to write down stuff like why I have the idea, how it's going to work, what's my research behind the idea, this and that, and all of this fun stuff that I have to get done. And it's due at some point in May. What point in May? I don't know. If you're watching this video, it's probably because it's that time in May. So, let's get to it. So today we are going to be making a resin and brick cast keychain hanger, because I have these keychain hangers right now, which I'll bring up in a second, that don't work very well, and they look like a child made them, because the child did make them. I made them, and they don't look great. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so this is the keychain hanger. Wow, that's loud. But if I can somehow manage to zoom in with this fancy thing, you know, that works. Okay, now you can slightly see it. Let's just zoom in all the way. Okay, so as you can see, it's just command hooks on a piece of trim. There is nothing fancy about this. The trim isn't even painted white. It's literally just a piece of trim that I took from scraps that I put stuff on it. And these aren't even measured and spaced properly. So yeah, that's what we're trying to fix. If I can zoom out, maybe, possibly. Yeah, okay, so how are we gonna make this into something new and cool, and what do we need to use? I am too high for the camera. So, let's throw you, that works. And if I keep looking at my watch, it's because I can see the camera over there from right here, instead of having to crawl under a desk, over a bed, and then behind the camera to actually see it, which is just a phone. So, what are you gonna need? First off, a mold. This is a bunch of pieces of wood that I cut, and at this point I'm probably just showing it on the screen how I cut them, but the wood is sanded down and it's built, while this is loud, so that it can be hot glued like this. This is the wrong way, and it makes a nice mold where I just hot glue this, I put the bricks in, and bada bing bada boom, I pour in resin, I'm done. Well, for most of it. So, you know, I'm just gonna like grab that with my toe. Yeah. Yay being a mess and only being able to do this in one take. If you don't know why I'm doing this in one take, go watch the last video, or the one before that. The one that's called I'm Back, or something like that. So, next off, we need bricks. And no, this is not joint compound. This is a literal box of bricks. And it's just brick scraps. Yep. And I have another full one of these that I can use. So yeah, here's a bunch of bricks. Now, scroll back down so I have space for the other stuff. And let's get through the rest of this quickly, because it's a lot. So, I have hot glue gun, hot glue sticks, packing tape, that was loud, resin, a cup, gloves, 2 gloves, a stirring stick, resin instructions, 10 packs of Kool-Aid, I am too high for this again, aren't I? A ton of glitter, an X-Acto knife, and a bin which I'm going to fill with water to heat up the resin. So let's actually go through what all this is for. So like I said, this bin is to fill with warm water because the resin needs to be between 75 to 80 degrees. And for reference, it's probably 67 in here, Fahrenheit. So yeah, then we have, let's go over packing tape. Packing tape. So basically, I'm going to take the mold and I'm going to line the insides where there's going to be resin with packing tape, because for some reason that I'm not aware of and I'm too lazy to look up, resin will not stick to packing tape. So it's cost effective and there's a lot of it for a single roll, and I can do a lot with this. Next up, there is the instructions. That's pretty self-explanatory. They're instructions. Then we got a hot glue gun to put together this mold after we get everything sorted out. We got gloves because resin will make your hands be really irritated and it's not fun. A stir stick to stir and portion out different Kool-Aids, or what are pigments, that's what I'm using them for. Different pigments, and to mix the two resins together. A knife to cut the tape, and oh wait, this is existent. A wonderful scale that it's a scale. It's to measure out the resin because it has to be mixed at a precise 1-to-1 ratio, and if I fail by even the slightest amount, I have to restart, and I will throw this at a wall if that happens. So let's also grab the cup. Go away, bricks. And then there's a cheap plastic cup from the dollar store. I'll put a link down below for everything that's in this, so that everyone can have access to it and see, hey, this is where I get this, and everything you need. So let's get into it. I regretted that immediately. Okay, now let's start. Okay, wait a second. Final thing. So this was a last minute choice, but I have these massive iron rods from a project I was previously going to do, which I will do in the future once I get a lot of money. So anyway, I have these rods. They're just solid steel rods, and I'm going to use these instead of command hooks on the board. So I'll just cut them at a 45-degree angle, and I'll just epoxy them onto the board, and then we'll have hooks that don't look like complete trash. Cool, let's get into this. So first off, you're going to need to take your baseboard. So I have mine labeled right, back, whichever side my back is on. This is my back, the front, the left side, and then finally, this is the important board. This is the bottom board. So let's start off by prepping all of these boards with some tape. If I can find the ends. Who is mowing the lawn outside? They should stop. Okay, can I get the tape? So basically, you want to be really careful and just tape it. I'm probably gonna just fast forward through this part, because this part is painful and takes forever. Once you got this nice flat side of the wood, which you probably should have sanded, and I probably should have said beforehand, but I didn't, that's fine. Always watch or read through all your instructions before you start, because there's always going to be something that's going to throw a wrench into everything you're doing, make you say, should have done that beforehand, and then you're going to be like, great, let's throw this at a wall and start over. So, make sure you have your wood sanded, and then after you're going to want to apply the tape, make sure your wood is clean, and make sure there's no gaps, because any gaps will have the resin stick to the wood and then you'll have to cut that off. The nice thing is this flat part is the back of your resin epoxy keychain hanger. So if there's some slight mistakes in it, it's fine because it will be on the back of the wall, but you don't want massive ones that will make it stick to the wood, because then you'll have to cut it off, and that's a massive pain. And you'll probably have to cut a new baseboard, or in my case, rip off all the command strips and just like redo everything. So now that that's done, you're gonna take the other boards that you got, and this time you're not gonna tape the entire area. Go away, tape, or not. You're gonna not tape the entire area like the baseboard. You're only gonna tape from the bottom to the height of which the tape goes, because you don't need that much tape on the sides because it's not that thick of a project, which is nice, which means you only need to do one resin pour. There's stuff in my eye, and you only have to do one resin pour, so it's really thin, and you don't have to worry about stuff being super high, because then it'll take you hours. Okay, so figure out, like for me, I've got mark on the top of each board, so figure out for you what's the top and the bottom of your board. Grab your tape and go through, if I can find the end, and tape the sides. And I'll see you probably at the end of this, because I'm probably going to time lapse this like that part. Tape. Okay, so now that that's done, and just to reiterate, make sure this side is very flat, because you will see the sides. Probably should have said that also in the beginning. That's fine. This is how we learn. So now that you have that, you should have all the sides taped, so that when you put them together, there should be tape where there's going to be resin. So now, take your hot glue gun. This is a mini. It doesn't matter what size or how fancy your hot glue gun is. I know some people get the fancy ones that are massive and have like that long hot glue sticks, and I'm like, you don't need that. You just need this tiny baby thingy, and yeah, you should be fine. Now I'm realizing, okay, no, we're fine. I'm like thinking through half of this as there's a lawnmower in the background, and as I'm now realizing how little I planned this out before I did this, which it's planned out, but it's planned out vaguely, not to the point of where it should actually tell me how to do things, which is the point of this video. So now let's put these sideboards to the side, if I can find this place, words. Okay, and you're gonna take your center board, you're gonna put it in the orientation you feel, even though it's not really not gonna matter because you can shift it around, and then you're gonna grab bricks. And more bricks. Okay, you know, I should just bring the box up here, but I don't have the space. I have to go away. So now, this is the fun part. You just start placing the bricks. There's normally a side that goes up. I'm not really sure what side that is. So yeah, just start laying the bricks out. Choose things that look cool, or have the flattest side. Yeah, so these are veneer bricks. These are the bricks you use to put on a wall. So they normally have a textured side, which is what shows, and then a flat side, which you put towards the wall. So what I'm trying to do is make a composition. Why did that just move? Okay, make a composition that is intriguing. Why is it pivoting? And that fits together where I can get an adequate amount of resin between the gaps and still have it look cool. So just keep that in mind, how it's going to look in the end. And then also make sure you have a lot of bricks with you, because you will want to make this look nice, and it will take you forever if you've only got a set of bricks instead of this big thing full of bricks. Okay, so once that's done, that took me like a lot less time than I thought. Oh, you can also break the bricks too if you feel like it, but I'm too lazy to do that. So, piece of paper, take that, make sure your hot glue gun works, which it is, and then this is the difficult part. You're gonna want to, actually, I haven't thought through this. I would say start hot gluing on the sides, but you want to make sure everything's gonna line up. So you're gonna want to make sure this lines up, and you're gonna want to hot glue it. So to keep this in the way I want it, I'm gonna transfer it in front of me, roughly, to the point where if I need to, I can just like recreate it. Well, I should want to recreate what I just did. Tape, okay, and then you're gonna take this, and if you do this right, you're gonna put hot glue on the side, you're gonna bring this up, bring it flush, yeah, flush, so that fits, and you're just gonna leave it there for a second and let that dry. And then you're gonna do the same with the other boards. So Okay, so now you have a upper view of this box. I've got this tiny lamp here that I'm going to turn on so you can slightly see what the heck is going on here. So as you can see, I've got all the bricks laid out. I think this looks, that looks fine. Okay, so you've got the bricks wonderfully laid out in the pattern. Yes, I changed this one because the other one didn't fit, and I'm not sure why I'm trying to look at the camera. So yeah, I should probably put this somewhere, but that's not going to fit. So that can go there, and that can just turn off again. Let's see how that looks. That's not bad. So, let's do a thing. I'm going to push this more behind me right now, that you guys can see the rest of this process. So, once you're done with this, you're going to really want to clean up your space. I'm just moving stuff to where it's not going to be right in front of me, because I need to do things. Actually, that's going there. Let's see. Do you have space to see right here? Yes. Okay, so you're going to first take your cup and all your stuff and pull that out. You're going to grab all your dies, and for this one I'm doing one die for each thing. Why is my thing making noise? Okay, so for each box it's going to have its own color, so it's just going to be different colors for each box. So I think I'm going to go cherry for this. So then take the rest of yours, move them to the side. Oh hey, you turned on. And yeah, once you got this, you're going to want to open it. That smells really good. That smells like medicine. Never mind. Okay. So then you're going to take your scale, put that there. You're going to want to zero it out. I think I might shine the light at it. See if you can see the numbers. If you can't, that's fine. So you're going to take this, your dies. I don't have a digital thermometer up here. That's a problem. Okay, so you're basically going to take these dies, which should be on screen. You're going to throw on the thing, and you're going to zero that out. And it should be measuring in ounces. That's what you want it to be in, because that'll be your most precise measurement. Now, before we do this, I'm going to pause this and go get some water for the resin. So yeah, I'll be back. Okay, so it took me about 30 minutes to get this off the base. So now it's this nice translucent color thing. And yeah, so all I did was I put this on the sander and I just gritted. I sanded down the edges so that it was flush with the wood and there was no resin connecting this to the wood. And then I just took my little 3D printing removing tool and I just jammed it in there and I slowly started to peel it up. And it did warp for a little bit, but I just left it sitting on this piece of wood and it has come back to the shape of the wood and is now nice and flat. So now the final thing we need to do is cut this middle rod. There's a cat. Is cut this rod to the dimension it needs to be. Well, the duplicate of this rod, because the other rod is downstairs. As you may have noticed, different clothes. It's also been about a week, but you didn't need to know that. But it also doesn't matter, because that was a really pitiful clap. Because, yeah, I just was going to cut it, and I started cutting it, and then I stopped, and I didn't continue, and I need to record it. So, yeah, here's this, and it's finally separated and freed. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to hang this while filming this, so hopefully I have that known by the time. And then just stick this on. I'm going to use epoxy. Just like stick it on in equal proportions. And yeah, So let's get on with that.